Alright, so now we're working on a 2000 something Super Duty here. That's running like crap is what I'm told. It's a service truck for a shop here locally. So anyways, gonna go ahead and try to figure out what's happening with this thing. So we'll get the scanner up on it and ID it. I'll tell you, I guess, for sure what year it is here in a second. Let's see. We don't even know. It's a null VIN. Get it here. What do you guys make of it? Something like a 03 or an 04 flavor? Anyways, here we go. Health report. Some transfer case stuff happening that we're not worried about. PCM. Cylinder 4, misfire detected, and misfire in the first 1,000 revolutions. And just a side note, they told me it runs like crap, but that's what everybody says when something's not running right. My fiance said when it pulled in, it sounded like it was leaking air. So I'm wondering if we don't have a spark plug blown out of her. So let's see here when we fire it up what's happening. No spark plug blown out. But there's a misfire. Feels like it's pretty consistent. I think we got a miss on 4 that we can look at here. And now we're cooking along, and yeah, it just feels like we got a pretty good dead miss here on this guy. Yeah, get my seatbelt buckled up here, but we'll get it out and get her up to speed, cruising along here, and then we'll see if we can get her bucking pretty good. This is wide open throttle right here. Wide open. Let up a little so she can give her the shifty. I think we got a clogged cat. Yep, definitely. So we're laying right into her and nothing happening here. Yeah, so that's the air leak then that my fiance Megan was telling me about. So you can hear it when you start giving her some juice. I don't know if you guys can hear it, but I can hear it definitely, that there's a huge restriction in that exhaust. And it's so, I mean, let off, and then you guys can hear that. There ain't no turbocharger on this whippersnapper. Anyways, get her in here and we'll check that out. Alright, you guys gotta be able to hear that right there. So here's the converter, and we must have a couple small leaks around this clamp and this weld behind it, this goober, and all that. You can hear it put, 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 put. So, I know you guys can't feel the heat coming off this thing, but damn, it is hot. And there we got her lopped off, so looking into it, and let me get some light. And you can see that she's plugged up pretty good right there. Zoom in, and then you can see basically all that substrate. I'm sorry about my camera. See all them little pores in that substrate clogged up. So she's plugged right up, but you give her a shake too. Right there, you can see it all falling out too. Loose substrate in there. Garbage. Fix that up. Now we got a little bit of exhaust flow coming out there. A little putt putt. You can hear it missing now. I'll bet cylinder 4's done skis, but we got the converter out of her. So, but now I'm just gonna go here into, see here, throw up a power balance test and just see if it'll isolate which cylinder we're having issues with. I'm sure it's going to be 4. Yeah, so right there. So this is basically just picking up a slow crankshaft speed, cylinder number 4, and so you can basically assume that's a misfire. So come up here and it tells you that's cylinder number 4. So right there, so that low one, cylinder 4. So we know we're dealing with cylinder number 4, likely ignition. I'm going to pull the coil out of there and then we'll see if we can't test that. Alright, so this is the coil from cylinder number 4 I got out here. And I got my ignition coil tester, my homemade unit here. So this is a GM HEI distributor that I just kind of got molested such, so that way I can do some ignition coil testing. So these Ford coils are so poor design that they're always failing, so I made this guy so I can test them real quick and basically just hook it up to battery power here. So, and then we can trigger the ignition coil and then just watch and see if we got a spark or not. Don't have to crank the engine or nothing. And we do have spark. See if you guys can see that or not. I don't know. Yeah, I think you guys can see it. So that battery's pretty dirty. So if it doesn't jump that right there, then it'll just ground right to that battery. That battery is so dirty. So actually the ignition coil appears to be testing okay, because that's pretty good jump right there. Let me see if I can try to get a pretty good jump from it here like I'm looking for. See if that'll go right there. Oop. I got one out of it. That's pretty far though. Try that. My demonstration keeps falling, but yeah. So anyways, that's a good strong coil right there. So it might actually be just time for a tune-up. We'll see here. Let me get that spark plug pulled out now. Alright, so then I got actually a couple plugs pulled out. So this is cylinder 4 right here. And pulling it out and just looking it over real good. I mean, it just looks like a used spark plug. No real signs that it's actually bad. You could say there's a little bit of wear here, maybe that gap's maybe a little extra, but Motorcraft plug in there could be the original, potentially. But anyways, I didn't see anything wrong with that pulled cylinder 1. Just kind of get an idea of how that one looked too. And so anyways, on this engine here, so cylinder 1 is up here and 4 is back there, all on the same bank. It just goes 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you start fresh on the other side, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it's not like a GM where it switches back and forth. On this guy, it's just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So anyways, I switched number 1, the front cylinder over here. Or I'm going to, I guess. I'm going to switch 1 and 4, these spark plugs. And then we're going to see what happens with that misfire. And if it changes cylinders, then we know we're just dealing with putting a set of spark plugs into it. And then we'll get her all tuned up. Alright, and then now that I've switched the spark plug, cylinder number 4, I switched it with cylinder number 1, and now you can see cylinder 1. It's got all these misfires, so we're just going to be looking at probably getting a set of spark plugs in this thing, and then she should be right as rain, ready to go. Alright, so now we got 8 plugs out, and really nothing too crazy going on with any of them. I will note that on cylinder number 5, there's this guy right here. That is a brand new spark plug. Somebody's gotten into it at one point. And then over here, somebody's got a brand new coil in it too there. Obviously pretty dusty now, but anyway, at one point was a new coil. But anyway, it knows to be newer than all the others though. I assume it had a misfire here in 5 at one point, and then someone was pretty lazy and just put a plug and a coil in it and said, "Ha, I fixed it," and charged them a bunch of money. And so anyways, but Now we'll get our new plugs in. We got 8 new Motorcrafts to go in her. Alright, let's go for another rip. Hopefully this thing doesn't embarrass me. Say on that first test drive, I actually had someone quite angry with me that I pulled out to go so slow. Wasn't on purpose, lady. Thing just ain't got no balls. Now it feels like we maybe got a little bit here. Could probably darn near roast the tires. No, I'm just kidding. I ain't even gonna try. Can get her up to speed at least now. That's something. Get out here on the main road and we'll hit it. Hammer down. Hammer down now. She's a squeaky old girl. Oh, she's a puller now. Look at that baby go. Not even wide open throttle. Awesome sauce. Yeah, made a runner out of this one yet.